Wadu TV, truth and integrity.
Anka wo chaba wontumi na kanya mrapa na ye adwuma Ghana ha kan so si na so
sika na o mawia no ye ba be je
meda
they thought he was joking. Okay. He means business. And we have reset it and put him at the way abriwa way say go nwu a enke fa sanka no
I mean abetena kan kire say omumu nipa they virtually look down on almost everybody.
Eti kakra kwasono no ai ititi ho no tede be meka kire say ahade o subscribe ya insema ekotwi kobrema na ye de somo iti aya na wo de ato bell no so se na be ya de bibia to mpom sabetimi aka Yaa Titi Listowel ena innocent erade ejana pai ejana so kumo Chief Justice ho asema bedim chairman wontumi ho asema bedim mo nse na Yaa Titi ka se nyembra ka wo share chairman wontumi wa so bonasom because o medi o man na wu MPP ti o man na wu wo hwe galamse se no metu asase a erade o medi o man na wu yes Chief Justice so kwa na wako anya da baba biem ma me kope be betra tokonu kope be betra anya by force opeso so mama omoso ma so anya by force why ye the politics e room omoso mama so ma kope be betra e wuzi ansam do so ye mo no me
betia se de nti anka wo chaba wontumi na kanya mrapa na ye adwuma Ghana ha kan so si na so
ceasefire
because wo kan eniama na me no mienu ye be kan na wo se nipa bi o ye ntu galamse bia obehunu bia ko sa sumbo
onwene
wo ho
pasa wo sai
ono no nwe ne ho enti wonwe wo so ho because ye mpo na ye won chen no dangers adima ye ni a ene na do ono hye anoya ne aduro de a ewo enete animu no na ne ono de why anchine krank wa yiram but it is because on dwe wono ne ho ono wo padu obedi ne it is a sign party to risk in life to that extent that you should understand the say wo na wo hwe any yen ya ka Ghana for yen into illegal mining no you understand the say obi anwe ye ho very simple enti anopay me pese wa wo fa wo phone e kura wo no na wo ko Google na wo dia boshem meka no wabo ye wia ye be ye response e beba ni nyina na yakan enti me ma family me bo effects of chemicals in patcho spelling ni na nkoma wa de foforo CALS use in me pese me nya ne accurate inti me bo galamsey na akasa in galamsey timpacho me fa in Ghana crown so no wa be kase ye limited to Ghana inti bo search ma bia me de no me ya sure say wo so de na bie confessor wa bie wo de enti me pacho ni edi kan ya wo be hu wo Google ho nie or see notably mercury, lead, cyanide, and other heavy metals have been linked to severe neurological and developmental disorders, respiratory diseases, and cardiovascular problems. So what body me boy ye ewo phone so ewo Google. This is the exact response e was a winya. And what me person me nya no accurate. Enti me say extend it na ma bia ni details no obema me ebia ne de ye enti de di kan ya wode ama me ni mercury poisoning me ba cho estimate ya fa to we no so ma sheda ye sa research no e na me de to sa fa me wi a me kan sema kire wo enya da bia na ye ba ye be kan sam ne woro ne ye ko e wose ye ma wo the reason why ye ni abre e wase ya ma wote ase die ntia se wo so bi ya galamsi a se nipa no kra wo ho kwai se wo chi no ma posifo illegal mining galamsey na ye kana wo ho kwan sesa nipa no wo de ne fa mra kwan so jai ne mabna fa ene ni enti mabiem bi kwa na me more details on it enti say na Google de mame we're breaking it down enti chemicals na galamsey fo ne de kwa nyina no wa ma ebia ne effect de ba mercury poisoning. As a mercury used in extracting of gold can accumulate in human body, causing neurological problems, developmental delays, and kidney damage. Tio, where you just one chemical pet, galamsey for the use mercury. Or say accumulating when nipa causing neurological problems, developmental delays into a crab how yawuna or yinida, and kidney damage, kidney no, and or mouth for woman kidney baby, wagana hano, sabe, and you'll be an no so. And I know beyond why near my kidney problems, seba, num environment na ya timely chemicals na why and sassinimu, and in me and na ya dear was sassinimu, ye dear no, and no macrophobia kidney issue. It's what yatsanaho. Nakacha me say media me no monsa, media me nkwa ye near ma and conform when your kidney problem no, one more enya binti me men kaho, you ye at risk, scratch and one more in sano. And one more ye near babia, and my kidney no enya problem. Afraid yatosubienu respiratory diseases, exposure to dust, fumes, and chemicals during mining can lead to respiratory problems and other health issues. Where crowd ya one more kasa no moya illegal mining na kasa o awo mo gina mfutronim wona wo twam keke na wo so wo and wo dia wo nka adwuma ne ho na mom emu mfutro na etuba no ya busu ha no respiratory disease no etan happen where your chest me nya medical doctor nti dia Google de be ma me na me cheche mu otwi am wate ase but obi anim say respiratory diseases echewa wa wudi mbra wo bre ya busu yade ni atoso biem eye birth defects. Pregnant women exposed to chemicals like mercury and cyanide can give birth to children with birth defects or developmental disabilities. Makawa hasa but ebia dana na meka no na me fa research bia back enti wadwe se bia me bo mitrim ne kae we ya proper research am dem ma enti be hu sa akoda bi ya ba wo no na so ni ho ya ba wo akoda no ni hwini ni ho ya ba wo akoda no ya so ebia tokuro bi abo e wa na komam ya ba wo akoda chesa akoda no onyanya ba afi emfia mienu ontimi nante ontimi ntrase chesa yarewa hodo bi anka ya dwene wa yente ase yare bia na anka yenim dade ban yare bia na anka enka ya brabo ho se eno na aba ya manu na yesai wo mabrabo enti akoda na innocently wawuna na so ni ho wawu akoda na ne hwene ni ho because obi de mercury ne cyanide akogu nsuom e de agu asasim ama ye de akokodua banche bode ene eniama hodo atosode ama wo maame na wonyem no wakodi ama de eye developmental problems ama akoda no wo ha akora no because what in the baby no one can't trust anyem no ena wonyem no wo environment aye galamisa chemicals atwa ho ahia cancer another torso and 9 long-term exposure to some chemicals used in galamsey can be linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. Enti cancers no kwa de sankwa guma hodo. Enti wo ba kwa ya sabia no ne ya diagnose you. Ne ya boy yare ka sia bi de ne de cancer abata ho. Ne ya ma akofie kowu. Enti na enipa dodo na ewu before their time. Wo ba kwa yare ya be diagnose wa ka kire wo no. Chese wo trazi wa busu akra sa ya de na bi nsi mu da. Wo nko na bi achew. Say ya can the effect of galamsey and as illegal mining e wo Ghana ha ekum yenya and kwafo se ma yenka because adwuma ni ho ni atoso ni waterborne diseases. Contaminated water sources can transmit waterborne diseases like typhoid, cholera chese wutimi say cholera na atia te say Ghana ha sisi a honorable cry kwabra minta akando ba na anwa dey ade a wodi ka be hia ye cholera chechi nkrofo wa Ghana ha ama nkrofo ewu na ka oman te say Ghana cholera kwampo de yare a wosenke body cholera enti ensu a yasai no ni nura ego nsuo no mu no wo hwe research na e kire say cholera no kro eche nkrofo okroma no eye as a result of mercury ni sign that edi gu nsuom enti wo to aso cholera de say eye fi ana obi edi agana ya na obi typhoid eye mo egu nsuom. All right me ba cho yanko dia etosu ho biem because very necessary we no de ultimate say Google share that no man ye deep say be ya obehu asem na watra ma wo no eye ni brasem enti severe neurological and developmental disorders, respiratory diseases and cardiovascular problems no eye yarea kasia wo Ghana ha ye nim ba bi afiri baaye say me ma wate ase say what is ye di galamse hu nkomo na say wo ye Ghana ni a funny serious na wo obi a oya galamse say oya wo tamfo enti wa wo hwe nsu a ya de ho videos eto TV so wa wo tu kwan na say wo twam wo bridge bi a ensu kasia bi da ho na already ensu na ni ya ne yesi ensu na tenetene na Ghana waterfo aso ni bi so no obo de amaya nom a it should tell you the level of poison a ya no mokroma. Now we me ncha wo ho na makọ Tabale Teaching Hospital for issue no so na ye de awie na mesim ye de batum kwa issues no dọọso eti anura me kind of chama wontumi the response ade ba ya wo se wono de na ban free power kuranti no onye mining biem odua kube me ba so obi hu chama wontumi no obi sa ne say forest no okotutu gu ye no akwa na kube ne wom yay chama wontumi ewura forest reserve na no danko akufuado senya wo pe Ghana abronti wode mrakọ parliament say forest ya yenko mu da kwaya ya nana no mabọ ho ban die si wa timber akasia na sima nnua no ema ya oxygen esama ya mframa papam ye home no wo chama wontumi okọ nwura mu ho no na ekube na simebo a wanya ho sakra kacha yang Ghana for say on dey say assassin wo duadua kube wo share research ayeye wo Google kire say assassin no kra the moment ye dey mercury ni sign that any lead begumu pe ade bia wo bedua wo so bi enye wo yiro ho afọ so ade ne say embo a just wo the chemicals no odene na wo say di good no baye no so eno so aye poison eno no na ma enkofo ntini na emu asisi moja ntimi nkoma yes the nurse just say ensam bebre brain tumor yikura yeka ho asema echiche nkofo na say sa yade we na yade bia nka bi ni ba bi afiri ba ye brain tumor he say won nkofo so yes bibia hunu wo di tirim na pai na nipa na wu ne de nipa ne nam ha yesi akoye surgery chasa nyarwa hudu a ye surgery ma nkofo wo krom ha no eto da bi na medwene ho a menti ase hwe men kan kire me se onti mining community enti emfa wo ho na no na me ka che o se hwe ensuo na ye nyina ye nom be pa cho ensuo na mfiri wiemo eye de da ho na ye de chemicals agum na ma kire wo say chemical ni ko tonsuo ni mu a yarwa de bra ye no sansuo na ye nyina ye no minum bi wusu unum bi wusu unum bi wudi bi dware meso bi de bi dware wudi bi ye aduane meso bi de bi ye aduane because ye nyina ye rely on Ghana water and Ghana water for nya magicians no ma chibusu afiri soro eye de nam fom na atwa ye ho hia no eno na Ghana water for eso no so no mo de amaye the last time e kire o se ne takwa water treatment plant e wo ho aye now we atacha pa e wo plant ni mu a ama say Ghana water adwuma ye fo water kwa wa manya adwuma foforo because one be ko bia no na plant ni mu asi na ya ma atacha e wo se kwabra ne kofa sofi no be dwiri atacha no na enso free na nya kwanya wura plant nim ni yafa kwan bi so de alum che say overdose ni ahwie agum Ensuo ne ba wo fie na ani aye brownish kakra bia wo si ana de asa Ghana waterfall nsuo yi ni nhye da anya fe ni nya fe poison awonom no aya poison enti wo na wani abra afa de wo na wo gina TV ni radio so wo ti social media wo se won ti ase de enti ayeka galamse nwasem ti wo didi yatem no me eno fa me ho because wo ya me enemy ma wo se wo no wo ndwen wo ho wo am kasa wo ndwen wo ho nti let wo bet me adwe me ho enti say Ghana ni bia ya at risk hwe sa wo ti wo no wo no imported water nko ade ambra mesrawo wo kwada asanyem men ka kira me sa wo ntetakwa men ka kira me sa wo nte prisia men ka kira me sa wo nte asenkregwa men ka kira me sa wo nte oboase ensuo no eno na etwa ye nwasi eno na teneba ensukura na Ghana waterfo de maye ensuo na mfiri ba bia enti say ye Ghana fo a e wase enne ye nyina ye se ye ho asese obi a oye illegal mining or the mercury cyanide ne lead egu nsuo mu no saa nipa no ye yatamfo opeso okum ye na me de ha me kra ye innocent children na ye gu wo mu a akwala no be de bosu bi mienu miensa ne ma me de ni twa hospital kwan and you see wo mu a ya wo mutanya saa wo hawo no wo mu kra wo mu say ni bio o hia ni bi oti ni baby a woye ni bodwa a wo dwe ne ho no obekwa akwo ne ba ne ya boyare kakra kabi na afa ato asresere eti ene obekọ social media so wo baby a no ya de akoda be gira ho srade ya wa hai da bia ya nya course obi person ode ne baba obi person ode ne ma biba obi person ode ne papa biba because akwa yare sabia no yare na ya bodi ya kire no ene surgery wo so wokoye no oni hu sika enti say Ghana ha asram kwa na to ya because obi yare and yare na nkofo yare no enya yare nketenkete yare a ya nananom penso ni yanti bia bakosam da eno ene say eche nkwala enchi mpanyimfo mpo innocent children enti kwaye na eno baba ye ho ban no ye kum kwaye no enkwada na omoye next generation no ye kum wamo we are killing them before their time nasa wo ka kira me say ada na me ka kira ma wontumi asem so ye galamse a na obu afu a eno no mfa me ho because I may make sure research am any damage and kwofo ekwo so yen Ghana for me pa cho enye obi maame no obi papa asem na hia me sisi a o enye no na hia me oman no mu nipa no nkwa na hia me enti wontimi ka cha me say adwuma ni oman no mu nti yen gya ho na kwaye galamse that one is a no and for hu ne wu nipa ban a wo ye and en for hu ni party a wo dom eno no e ya big no ya pene because me metimi nto imported water se nyame yamadum po na se metimi ato a me nua bi a wado timi kurom no ontimi nto imported water does it mean say nipa no onwu ana wo a wo hwe me ya wo tie mi wo timi nto imported water Ghana water ya efra tache mu nsutini ya mu eno abi na wonom eno abi na wodi dware eno abi na wodi ye aduane enti sa wo se wo ye party bi ni nti no ye ka galamse nwasema ma ye nka because wadwen ya wo se wo hu nipa bi ye bi amo ye ne de ya omo biggest enemy omo wo se ye kase na omo bu afu but eno enye masem ade ba kwa me pesa yen Ghana for ye ti ase ne say enti de ye hu eye de yama ye hu kwan man krofo bi edi ya wi enti eye all in the name of partisan politics we am say me wo metimi aka galamse nwasem the whole year every day menya new angle the amount every single day menya new angle at the amount it should tell you the level of damage a galamse e dey your man way. Yes, so says ye to good wo Ghana ha nye ne. Enye no. Ye na nanom sha says so mutu good nye ne. Na de ya asasi, say ye na nanom ye we mu from pra, enti ka yen ye beba beto so. We should ask ourselves certain questions and give certain answers to know say ye kum ye ho. Ye betimi aka galamse wansam sa obi adwen ne se obi tan wo bi obi antan wo bi Ghana fo ade na ye ka ho asem no age se bi ato anse na won say mehwe omo amanya effect e wa galamse ho no ye ka wo mani gi because omo bre kokwale bubere Yeah, the last time you are to renal unity mu wo kwa na nkrofo enkontimi ye kidney wo montimi nkwohuru wo kidney entwe dwonso ne niam atai wo ni padua mu go and check ni padodo ewuye go and check Ghana yen sheda kura ni equipment yen ni logistics as obi yare kese bi kura yetimi treat no obi a ne yare ehu bia no wo be hu ane ye sire sika ye de ne ko India wo be hu ane ye sire sika ye de ne ko ba bi fufura kwa na surgery Eniema yen ye betimi aye to protect ourselves yesi yen because partisan politics are dokoro ye e de ne hayen. What is wrong with us? Where ya who can no be obi buafu and our friend a kamema baba power na kamen so me baba to be and ankophobia ye bi na bi. You see what we are yare no. That's a problem e Ghana. Who can be person beti ase. Et yen China yen nyina yen say ade no. Yes any wi na ya baba tira se de yen sa she dem that nonsense must stop. That nonsense must stop. Me found one of political color. If I see you involved in Galam, say you are my biggest enemy, and I'll come after you. And that's the reason why I na kamiya John Abuamabua, who are my bestie. Me say and some ponaka who be press conference. No, I was saying Kachama to me. What channel? What channel? You my friend Kahunina. And some ponaka press conference. No more be. And can you say when you know? I quite now press conference say or no word Yakube. Wano na buy free power no wo dua kube okon wura mu hono forest mu hono na kube na si wo meboa. Somebody should ask Chama to me for me say o se wo dua kube e wa asase na wa sign no so no okon na kube na sisi ho enua na wo ko bugu ye ene asase na wo ko funtuma sign no okon na sa na asase ne tie. And in binding a cassia kosu krom ha. And you see, Ghana for ye too petty, ye too bitter, ye time ya want to the stand say, ye Ghana ni kosu I pet. Me, such a to me, your proper minding na. Me any problem bia. Me any problem bia. The all ya no, say answer ya say, and say insio, and ba poison bia ma, me any problem. But anra videos na me bomma wo no kwa kire wo say enkrofo no mo sam na boy ana samata si ye adwuma wo enkrofo kwa atake wo mo no adwuma okoye wo ho ne kire say nya adwuma papa enya adwuma papa, and that's the reason why youth na no mo kwam ha no came after them. Obi ni wo beka so obi ye adwuma papa obesi ne ho kwan. Now so ye de no bitterness. Just a Ghana ni wusa ni yonko Ghana ni ye bibi ye papa. What time now to the stand they say obenya kade na say the reason why ya MPP for do na mpe Ibrahim Mahama asem no. Na kaya na no say me hu say MPP communicator bi no ko hu ntini o ti radio so and na wakwanya na daman ayi godu ya yesi yakoji ye de baba Ibrahim Mahama. Ono so ya ne kwa wuntini ya na ni abre a wokan wo de adwuma ma no so ntimi ye ba se Ghana ni be ye no wo mfidi obetimi aye ni yie no enye ni nua enye ni party ni nti no ene ya sa de mbo ye nyina. You see the mentality, but they are all to form say asase and the chemicals egum no say ni pa ne de ye mo no say ye nkanasem. Companies me behind engineers and planners. Emo mo koye wo madwuma no majo mo machines ho sika o majo mo expertise ho sika sa nipa no yase yempa no because oya dwama hama nua e na maka no kore no sa nipa no yase yempa so obeye bibia wo Ghana ha because oya dwama hama nua yare o dam ne ya bodo yare bitterness just say ye didi pa ho ye ni bridi pa ma ye didi pa ho ya say obi ye bibi. And you see obi anywa o si obi kwan so person okoye engineering amen koye but so obi koye na wonya hu nimde na so beti adenti na companies akase na wo Ghana ha o mutu gold no adan na obi antimi nko kase ya ne mo problem na ye Ghana for na ye say ye small scale ye no medium hwan no ye mom ne ye ne Ghana for mo ne ye nya problem because mo sayade da bia meka me say Ghana for ye ni ate o ye ni made sanka ye partisan politics afrim. Now, some mining sector where you pay expert on meeting ya adwuma ka ye hia broni. Ye hia broni, but Ghana ni better to the stand say anyo ano de anya moya nyina broni mefa nko. sanka yɛte yɛn ho ase ɛne ɛsɛ Ibrahim Mahama adwuma deɛ sɛ yɛyɛ ho hwɛnyɛ yie ade a ɛhyɛ obi tirim oyi a ɛnyɛ yie tan na abɛtan no ɛna wotan no so ntimi nyɛ ade no firi nipa no tirim enti si yɛ ɔman bi a yɛ serious a ɛne ɛnyɛ yawdie ɛne edi ya wɔ yɛ yɔnko ho ne yɛni biri nipa ɛwɔ sɛ nka nyina yɛpa Ibrahim Mahama kyɛw sɛ Ibrahim Mahama bɛtena se fa we engineers and planners expertise na wodo amukọ abrochire mo mukọ suade no fa bi fam yen na waban no yentua mo ka wo de at west ya no mo ka se god no ya de a mo de mo tu ne yentua mo ka service charge anya ne yonko dipa na busuani ne party ni na ye Ibrahim Mahama de daabi ene mo nja ne yentu galamse no yense ya asase ne fa makro ne sa na ntingum ne yense no see ade baba expert no aya no ma na nya so fa so de obo aya ge enti ne wa ha ena de adu ba bia yadui enti ene me kan ne ma na me de a kire wo no woti yare bia ye bodin wo Ghana e ma wo hu say yes Ghana ye wo kwantwa quick one mama kan Tamale Teaching Hospital for document ya wo mo de aba just next 5 minutes near be phone lines no where your Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital where a cat or the ababonting may kind of my casem kitu be the actual woman mencha home cry also following our earlier press release today the Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital held an emergency general assembly meeting at 12 noon. The outcome of this meeting is as below. That with immediate effect, all members of Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital have proceeded on an indefinite suspension of all emergency and outpatient services. That's general OPD, antenatal clinic, specialist clinic from the hospital. Okay. I say inpatient care shall continue. For our clients currently on admission until they are safely discharged. Our demands, unqualified apology from the Minister of Health, Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, and a Member of Parliament for Tamale North Constituency, Honorable Al-Hassan Shaibu Suhini, should be rendered to Dr. Valentine Aklupa. All doctors of the Tamale Teaching Hospital and staff of the Accident and Emergency Department. We shall resume provision of emergency and outpatient services after we receive appropriate apologies. 3. The management of the hospital should ensure that the following are available in the short term for us to work effectively. Constant flow of water through the taps for clinical work. Stable electricity supply in the hospital. Constant supply of oxygen. Provision of consumable items such as clothes, cotton, face masks, and on my church and here. And I have a constant supply of reagents to ensure continuous availability of essential laboratory tests. And to where Kata Tamale Teaching Hospital Doctors Association Ediaba. The end and soul of the whole thing is that now Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, Minister of Health, Echo Hospital, or based on issues to be authority, Yaa Titi be said, Yasi in Sioni Ho, and see Okwa washroom cry, patient to the bed you soon, Yajiwa Musika, and son of woman to Miyako Yusu, and some baby and across to a hospital. And I think based on that, and Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando Echo, as we say unannounced or announced, maybe I know Yamasem. I want to address this particular press release. Some doctors know what Tamale Teaching Hospital they say. I'ma withdraw emergency services and OPD. It's one that I are sabia home dia. And ope wa sore na se wo Tamale Teaching Hospital ayan hwewo. And answer will be anya akwanhia. Yenim se Tamale Teaching Hospital no eno na so wo ho e betimi akwanteni enkrofo. And also emergency services we collapse when your accident wa kwati ato se wa kwa de ade bia ye emergency bia so eno so wa mo se wo mo hwe until say Honorable Suhini any honorable Minta Kando ebeba be po machew say wo mo asake omusi you me be say me bisa doctors no mo Tamale teaching hospital ne say enti no mo akurom ha and on the 10th of May 2017 Dr. Thomas Anaba ano ya medical director ewo Rage na do dan kwa akufado epam no free Rage because our papa no sa doctor no President John Dramani Mahama ena edene call ho on the I think 1st February that was 2016 ena edene call na do dan kwa akufado eba on the 10th of May eno pam no enti a doctor for no more Rage no more money association or mobile media suspended emergency services any OPD wahu ena Ghana Medical Association na e okrom ha so na wo mo deda enti obi ansori anka bi ama papa hwa Ghana ahu eya mo ma ye nko ya chi nkwaye niema bi but when you bring it we will also bring it on enti mese me bisa Tamale teaching hospital doctors and say ya saki si wa won so wo ne wo nya adwenti wo mo Tamale enclave wo nyina wo be nya emergency situation onwu because ya saki obi no does it even make sense ya saki obi ntino obi nya emergency a onwu OPD services monye I'm not the president say I'm your president yahu can one say be instruct honorable Kwabena Minta Kando say hwale say backlog yo bebre o woni ma doctor ni and nurse for ma wie school muti from nya adwuma nye clear them put another one there simple we Ghana ahu e was here say ma discipline bi ye adwuma enema no mo request ni e legitimate aban e was so ye ma mo fair enough but you can't tell me say who withdraw OPD service who withdraw emergency services because ya pam with you I mean as a hospital na body ahu Tamale teaching hospital doctors na mo ho hospital no e ya mo bona fide property wa hu yey muna mo see ya hu na mwanso da mutua mo ho ka ho adwuma no ma bra Ghana ho unemployment rate e wo krom ha no no kwasa issue bi kuse krampon ye kasa ho Honorable Minta Kando wa media me asam no ebe mpese be kwa tie na makwa sha ase na efri hin na kwasi hin we all saw the video we saw the confrontation e dey na see wo ho mo ana munim ba me concern as Ghana ni ne say ya pam see wo no it's not a reason enough for you to come and tell me say why withdraw emergency services enti me Ghana no be kwa because ya pam obi ya de ope o ya pam o see wo ti but Dr. Thomas ye kan say Anaba ono de no onya nipa ono ya pam no na enana do dan kwa akufa do pam no wo Ghana ha no onya nipa o wanya doctor ni bia ma na nsori anyina nka bia ma no irrespective so threat so obekwa court obekwa hin obekwa ankwasi hu Dwamahama ena yi no na do dan kwa akufa do bai wase mitimi no nya adwuma opam no de no kwatera UDS enti based on negligence any niam akoso wa hospital ho any we incompetent ayagina so na ya pam no wo sidan mo na mo ya doctors wo ho no mo sidan oh toda bi aya na action bi wo ho a minya aya na kam capacity ametimi aye ka beba no na doctors for ho nurses for ho mo ye adwuma se wo mpese obe ye adwuma no enti kofie wo mo tifie no mo nni adwuma ye no omo so mo ye Ghana fo ni bi wo wan opportunity wo se wo mpe enti anu anu so obakwa kwatena se boko backlog na ho na ya pe ba bi di wo ma hye no hwe Ghana fo dodo o ma wie nursing training wo ma wie medical school mo nya adwuma nya o mo tifie no bebre kwa o enti anu anu se makle wo mo nyina na mo de fofra akọ no makoye adwuma no na Ghana fo ya wato me Ghana ni nkwa na hia mi o I don't care about this your nonsense sacking and whatever. And ya pam you see and so we are angry and we are not coming. Hey, go out. And other people will come and work. Wo ya pam will see one Ghana ni woman wa. Ya pam will see you. Enti so obi anya accident obi anya emergency wa collapse na ohia treatment ya wo see won na ya permanent Ghana ni no onwu se wo na wo see hospital ni see won ti nipa no onwu mebua. And you see, now we're more near bomb hoka, near more allowance, or we are no money, Jumano Suno, more ya, no matter my terms and conditions. One university near Yaman allowance, by a man necessary for allowance, just to keep and motivate them. I'm one person that may against our allowance, no, I live or because I in the Butaya and the purpose, and I said, Yaman at the 1992 constitution, that was the CIA, President Mahama, a review. Nyama bebre wa mu a bogwa sa wase ayi frim nya de fofroba to suit your current state. Anti ana asam na ya kan nya asam ketwa say na the whole northern region teaching hospital kasia e wo ho no more withdraw emergency services because ya sakebusi wo na na mo court and I say the court no emu nya dem bo a enter way boko Dr. Thomas Anaba, your pam now was one TSA, was over court. Dr. For be anywhere, so the work from her, a cabby map, papa. Send another danko who father, Konya wafa so our pampa pay, and your quam bonnet. Or be a cabia mano because Drama Hammer and a year no to any pack. But Ghana, your problem, we have a long way to go because your mentality, the way you're general, and we're children. Na boy intino obi nya emergency a yesi onwu because see will be apamo no ensuo ne niam mo request no eya de anka wasa mo focus kra kɔ ho na mo ka kira ba na 8 years abai bi antimi anya amamo wo dia no ba ba ya tratenen Ghana ya politics je fe o Ghana ya politics ya time papa Enti mutiwa dada na MPP wa ba mu 8 years no ensuo no na anya challenge bronze na amode sha monsa amosi ebi ni ho no oxygen no na ebi ni ho 3 months pay ya NDC ba mu e na afa na mo be ka se e na mo afa sa ne ma na ma ye nya adwuma e na ye si wo no kwa ma pam ye mo me pa ya chewa e no so ye nya adwuma we oh President Mahama you have a good heart oh say ya me a makle mu nyina omo motifie no na ma fa omo adwuma e ye simple I was here, Shasema discipline, be ye, Juma Wagana, now you're resetting yaging. Yet you crom hanoma, and some hunukwa, you just a major woman, Tiasia. A whole teaching hospital. Tessa hospital, yes, you were Kaka, yes, Savvy, Abba Brahma, Nipa, and one hand, or Nipa Bakupe Binti. Oh, God. Ghana is very funny, and Emma be break to Chroma no match. I say, what do you want Tiasia? But partisan politics inti eno na be hayen eno na be hayen say Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources are revoking the licenses because investigations omo ye kire say ensase a wo bowura mu ni forest ni nyina na oni nkrata and Ocean Minerals Commission documents and a review based mienu Bako was in 2022 a omo de ba ye kire say ampa omo man nkrata bia sesa forest no onko wuram and na omo san investigations hu say ensase ni bia na say concession ni bi kra ho a watwitwa de ama ada illegal miners and omo ayen krochi no omo atue sika ma no and omo san so kwa ema ni gold ni bi as chese omo corporation bia omo bre ni gold ni bi ono otifi awoje ono ankasa and then statement ba enra me sure say no so onya bi kan ye ema wo ka kosi say ono na ban kura free power yi wagya gold no tu na ban ni power nti wagya tu na say wo ye na ono oduadua kube nti obi be ka so wo ye gadamsi a ono mo nya adwen nti the whole bra yen kwa innocent
ya dey come mention am mention oti for na mention menua amenka say kroma wo hwan a ya fa so ya politics sometimes I am time and what's in China or observe from a very dispassionate perspective as somebody so much concerned about this country, you always be worried because a contaminating issue where they are obia aware that there is nothing new under the sun. The involvement of Chairman Wontumi, the company and the individuals and how more bora your forest, not just forest reserve. it got to a point here. A lot of investigative platforms, including Vinu Kwekuba, Mineral Commission back as to whether he had, your friend is saying, the power to go into some of these areas. Back and forth. So the evidence have been very revealing over the years. Were enough evidence actually say Abrante Rijuma Odi no. In some no buy at that time, as a responsible president then, nanka ye some effort be ebe come to bear.
Yeah.
Na ya come because you be this obi ye galam so be sense asia and no and yet just there you need to probe further to ascertain. We didn't do any investigation. The president walked to Koforuria, Brawakushia Catholic bishops. At there and a cockle to me say the gentleman was not doing anything illegal when indeed he was in the forest mining, destroying forests in as a form. And when Nema na all ye clearly a chero say yen soni and sasia na essay Nema na kosunyina na odimu atintimare. So me the see and na no be who lands minister or your press conference while revoking lances and as for me it cannot just be my revoking lances.
Yeah.
This is a guy who has perpetrated act of criminality against the state. Because Nema omoye no kroma nso ni nsase woni nipa do omo fa ho a omo and Sasia said, how long is it going to take? We cannot live in a country where some of these highly politically exposed or connected individuals engage in some of these illegal activities. Then they will say, I buy an into your general licenses, and it ends there. No. I'm expecting the Attorney General will pick this particular issue up. Any outstanding way be a coso, in Sonin Sasia or Maseni Biano, they must answer. And not just a quanta mining, not just wontumi. I'm telling you, evidence today, you never brave from Professor Frimpong Watson investigation to other investigations, including Anna's own. These are crimes. You perpetrate here. You see, the impact in our video. No, Forest na ya said no. And to me, I'm not back to see unless we make conscious effort to reclaim the land. So these individuals have made millions of dollars from these illegal activities.
Sure.
Poison yensua, poison yensase, a kidney disease, we cannot just allow these things to slide. So I think that government has to up the game. Now you're making sure that individuals say evidence we need to prosecute each and every one of them. Say best serve as a lesson to obi our abide with.
Yeah.
And I say obi out not generous oil financier. I'm most didn't say men financier, men way for and they think they're untouchable, they can do whatever that they want. As we speak, there are people still doing some of these things. I think that you see, this approach must be very holistic. Na ye monwura say ye nso ne ye nsase na mrane hyehyɛ da ho nie wonni ho kwan na say obi bɛyɛ this small scale mining na hyehyɛ ne niema ya da ho some guidance be must come to bear sebeya yen say yen so ne yen sase na waban ba power all of a sudden you become empowered to the extent that you can just go into the forest and do it. I'm not sure say your friend say o mind betimi atumpon because chama wontumi a wo kana say me 2016 abrajo mahama because and some of his things were confiscated. Akufo Addo bae no everything was returned to him. They even paid him a compensation at the time, and then the guy was liberated. That was why he was at that time he moved from normal concession site to forest reserve, and he was being protected by soldiers in the military. Then it also comes to mind, your political power, because power na we are supposed to use that same political power to guide the state, protect the state, protect the people, and commit to the welfare of the people just to ensure say resources in the in such a way that benefit the people of this country. But unfortunately for us, and then power we look at your friends say selfish parochial interest and you pursue very narrow interest as to whether affected the larger life prospect of more Ghanaians. We don't care. And at the end of the day, you have the state, the establishment will defend and protect you. And it's the reason why some of these highly connected individuals within government were able to do some of these things. You see, at some point, he was not the president.
Sure.
To that point, he said, some of the investigation now could do a court to grab bar. Your friends said the investigative body said they shouldn't even mention his name anywhere. We cannot live in the country and allow some of these things to happen because if a reasonable person you wake up and you look at our forest you look at our water bodies, you look at the toxic exposure, you should be worried. But we cannot prioritize the greed of few individuals who are twisted mind because they have political connections and they think they can do whatever. Then majority of people will be languishing in some of these things that we see. So for me, I think you see, there must be a certain renewed effort. Okay. Some of these individuals involved in some of these criminal activities, we need to prosecute them. Go back for the documents. Professor Frimpong Watson is alive. He's the one who authored that particular report. He can collaborate with the security agencies. These are some of the things I want to hear. But your press conference is good though, just to keep people. But you see, we need to move beyond that. For instance, I branch here now, you say, the millions of dollars, what's the free way for account, the signals brewery. Press conference. Yes, I'm expecting that by now, courts are starting holding us. Because you see, some of these things, and when you act slowly, like some of these things are a killing momentum, and more people begin to ask questions. Then their cost, because after the press conference, we were made to believe that evidence, everything was already available. So what are we waiting for? You understand? There must be some swiftness in our effort just to ensure that we punish crime. Deterrent. We don't punish crime because we hate the individuals. And I say, punish individuals because or your way and also or your way. Never no more yan stop is or mine a better and some. Because in other jurisdictions, they take it further. Now, no make a South Korea sitting president has been impeached because or declared martial law. I'm a soldier for parliament. Parliament. What is the investigation? The president has been impeached by parliament or Assembly Court, Supreme Court. Supreme Court unanimously ruled said no, you had no power to declare martial law. Nemana way was deemed unconstitutional. See, I'm no South Korea. President Nitifie, ya pamno. Because of Nema why can't we take you from some of these things? Here, among for your power, they become so powerful to the sense that power now when you call the Yanyan Sandia can that's a different thing. Power, no? That is why you see certain foolishness coming to bear. The decisions and the consequences of their decision, our far-reaching consequences on the fortunes and the life of the people, but we don't care because we are in power. I think that we need to set the stage now. Just to ensure that we pick the pieces, some of these things, and going forward, you see, Galam said, my country, we cannot, the same approach, so you for Colland, for freezing, Rollins time, Nano Minister Nibikasa, or say Rollins time, no Mukum Cochise amount for out of the forest. How many years now? It's been 30 years. We are still here. People are still there. Now the numbers are increasing. In policy wise, we need to come up with something very comprehensive. We bet me, I swear this individual because my culture is one of the motivating factor when it comes to young people going into some of these things, poverty. You cannot take a man from his livelihood without providing an alternative. So as a package as a policy plan, the government need to look at how me I restitute these individuals, win them off from this illegal mining to something very productive. If you go to the mining areas like Obwas and other places, under their beneath their fence feet, people are mining gold, millions of dollars, and they are taking the monies away. What do you expect them to do? They will do some of these things, you understand? And more benefits, and that's a different thing. There are campaigns somewhere who are politically connected and highly exposed individuals. I don't know if they control all these things, sitting in the shadows. I think that our approach, we need to revise it and make sure, focus should not be on politically distant, but a comprehensive approach dealing with the problem on the ground. A better like washing your feet, wash your socks. Now when you're that is why 30 years after we are still here. I am looking at, let us go beyond the rhetoric. Let us go beyond the individuals involved. Like certain stage, at this point, Ghana for unanimously have come to terms. We don't want galamsey. We don't want people satisfying their greed, our detrimental way on the fortunes of these people. We need to make sure that mining, it should be responsible mining. And again, your mineral regime, everywhere be a message, and I'll say this. We need to look at how you better renegotiate not Ghana and your stake. Because other countries are moving a step further by nationalizing all their state assets. Why can't we do the same thing? Burkina Faso, that is what he's doing. And some other countries, by the 2%. It doesn't make sense. And now young people are becoming increasingly enlightened. They know, say, they have a stake. It's the reason why I call mining areas now. And most of the young guys are coming up. I'm sure in the next 10 years, they will rise and chase these companies out. They see similar things are likely to happen in the future if we sit aloof and don't do nothing about this situation. Because you think now people are consuming information, they're becoming enlightened. You don't become enlightened and sit down. No. Nobody consumes information, become enlightened and sit idle. When they consume information, they will act on it. And it's the reason why you see some of these wave of activism on various social media, because now people have become enlightened. So we should be threatened by some of these things if we don't do the needful. I'm calling on all stakeholders. Say, your mineral regime, your resources, we need to look at it critically. I'm happy government is working on demand just to take it away from. Yes, we need to nationalize all these things. And yes, sir. Boys, if they have nothing, they will rise. And my culture say, youth, they are very dangerous because they will do everything to survive. Hopelessness, they are drive a lot of people into way. So we need to sit up and comprehensively, look at our mining regime. Look at some of these things and the prospect. Because a man for to me free China, number 2 gold, no more science as first we can do it here by forming minor state-owned companies at the district level. You will train individuals, but they have the skills, highly equipped with the knowledge, everything. At the back of these people, we can employ some of these young folks to help in this mining activity. Fortunately for us in Africa, we have youthful population that's for over natural resources you will be. Over human resources you will be. Ade aye ni na enyansa. Nde ade no so wonnim nyansa.
O si de ni ye dey.
Onyansa because when ade no so wo wonnim nyansa de wonyansa ba be fa akọ. Na wadwene ho. Ha say you will gold. In abundant our soil Africa has say I think so you could develop we are next.
Yeah.
Na yenya saa niema we nyina na kwabra ne betima ba tu ni nyina da kose tu na fa kwana ma me royalty. Na da wo bodam. How can you do this? You understand? Yenya oil. Now you negotiate no 10%. You can't do this in this modern world. You understand? In the past, maybe na you need dia or I think about the resources, the water, but can you say the same thing? I think we need to rethink. Now your approach, now your politics, now every benefiting nipa. We are creating criminals out of this politics. We are making people rich, but the state is getting poorer. But the whole essence of governance, leadership, politics is taking care of the Nipa now, the marginalized in society, welfare of the people, but that is not our politics. And look at how people have become fabulously rich all because they are in power. We cannot continue to do that. I can't just say the only last leg Ghana democracy so this Mahama administration. And it must inspire trust, confidence, and hope. Because say Ghana we will lose our democracy, I'm telling you. So this is a test case for us. We need to be tough. That is why I'm happy the president is taking and making tough calls. You understand? Because at this point, you need to be strong and make sure that the decisions that you take, will inure into the benefit of the larger people of this country and not the Obibitin China Obekan. And if we go on this line, trust me, I think things will work out.
Richard.
National Party leadership of NDC. I'm the chance from Kunswama. He says as the president, my power at the Magana. Think about 100 days in office, so far so good. And then the resetting agenda is on course by the president. Mechia, the Greater Regional Secretary, Honorable Theophilus Tetechai, maybe will be an Yakopon Canona on to Kwanem. Enra Greater Accra MMDC list APA. God so good. Domina Blaubum constituency in South. Yatiasem there. Amane. Constituency chairman Kabute Ukansi is the current Gasalt Municipal Chief Executive. Yebeda party in Benefono Ase say on Matimidi Sadia Sunko di Amaye. Me twasono make about the current developments about Akonta mining.
Yeah.
Akonta mining. Among say some year and never be a hard drain. Na anya de bia sese o mine ankasa yesoso. Ni kwanse so Akonta mining so kra because o hwe enyama isisi ye fa Akonta mining ho a nanka President Akufo-Addo ankasa anka wo obi a eye nitini ye ti a daso dai pa anka Akonta mining ka ene chama wontumi ka odam isan say papa no enyama wo ye treasonable but isan say ye di bibia ye politics ntino obi di bone na so say politics e chikura mpo a ntimi anhwe ne anche no ne mfa mra no endi no Akonta mining nko ano onim say e ba public nim na videos ka na broad daylight shooting between Akonta mining and a certain mining company more legally more concession.
Yeah, it's true.
Samates, I don't know, timber company.
Yes.
Timber company. Yes.
Samates, was Samra boy.
Yes. Akonta mining no shooting because now more Akufo-Addo as a president. Me the Matimpo say President Akufo-Addo mpono. Yes, so was share Akonta mining. O share ye masanya ma we na ye den ekoso a bra na ye wo evidence ani o say yemfa yenchi Akonta mining ne omo ko gina emra no president no dane no ho the public relation officer of Akonta mining president of the republic echo declare in public say Akonta mining enye boni bia ankampo se oni bibia mpo obaya fa ho a enanka jama investigation bodies no they should take charge nanka omunye investigation na findings on beba omudi beba no omu vamra nanka yehu zampa Akonta mining nye boni nanso we de bibia kire say Akonta mining omu rural forest nim reserves nim in fact enam Akonta mining so entina President Akufo-Addo LI na prohibit mining companies say omu be mining our reserve forest lands no President Akufo-Addo ko sign LI presidential Emma ho kwa Akonta mining area forest increase reserve lands ekoye mining ewo honom ade bia nya de pa na President Akufo-Addo hwema sane mani nyina koso John Dramani Mahama be take over and come put the company say they will show some kind of level of respect for the change of government say the president and the minister ama Kofi-Bua honorable member of parliament and come with the respect we man say change of government assistant president ni is serious in fighting galamsey enti Akonta mining nyama boni ni yensu omo say no ni a forest omo say no and come be jai so they have no regard and respect for our people in our state and the president's effort to fight galamseyers so they continue to do it and they akwache omo yes is you omo niama me pacho say niama yes is you galamsey site ni nyina no yemfa bra na yemfa nya djuma because ya omo we ya kwan nya niama bebre wo no ma yebetime use some machines we ne dey den ye dey de nyankopon ase say some machines ne kwatete no enyira ya te say MPP time excavators etutu yira ye no enti no mo hwe na Akonta mining baby bia wase yemfa mo ngina na yenje niama na o ma sell no ye make sure say ye be use o mo musika company ni sika ni bi ya ko reinstate forest no because unim say per research no o hwe the kind of forest I might destroy no was our western part of Ghana now. It will take in every acre of land beyond about $40,000. And they be reclaiming the forest. Every acre of land, oh. And you look at the amount of money Chama to me let Akonta mining. Eddie on my way we need to reclaim the forest.
enti me ka kwa kosi say no na me ka kosi say akonta mining chama wontumi President Akufo-Addo and his cronies former mayor of Kumasi ono so we yete say no ono so kan illegal mining no ho omo nyina ye bi any other party member or involved no in Galamsey a to a good deal this say ye nsuo ne forest no ye mamra no ne omo nye dey endi afen so unim say currently the new CEO for Ghana Gold Board Sami Jenfi and then the sector minister lands and natural resource they are doing so well so well now omo ye nyama we nyina no na make sure say the actual proceed we supposed to get and benefit from our minerals no is protected no omo so make sure say they will protect the unborn generations because who them say and as a result of nyama ye di 2 Galamsey ni sa nyama no utimi wo akola na ne nsa ba ko ni ho utimi wo obi na ne nan ba ko ni eni ho enti omo hwe na omo nya hyehye pamfan to ho ma te se go for daman for mu concession na omo gold omo to a nanka about 30 years omo pa renewal for mine no ye no matrase a percent a dwumadie no enkoso me de contractor ye san ye decades ago ni nyina no na bad and shambolic contracts na contracts no na there's no way I never benefiting on my Ghana and pan so o share time almost sign those contracts ni go that you to Ghana has no anke was say minu mienu ani menuam penifo ya no mo tie yi e was say anka yenya esonfaso die bia ba yen ukọ baby ti se Kumasi Kubain, Patwam, Cliffs. When you see the lives of the people living over there, no, cry for them. You cry for them. They lack basic social amenities, including water, basic water to drink, health facilities. Their roads are so bad. Last 3 days, me say, Amasia on baby. Car the amount for Kumasi abedi gano and Roberts atwash almost so esan say omukwan no enye the bad nature of the road is say na mani nyina no ye nema bia si anhwe ne antoto ne ampe ni pumasi bra a time may come the youth of this country will rise against us na president bia ni ho a obetimi agina ho na watimi afesi the youth Enti yesra John Dramani Mahama is fighting the Galamsey so serious. I was a gun in India and support the effort by the current president. Near fighting the menace. Now, friends, we have got no contract never no companies like Kesiano. Our move to go no Ghana has seen. You make sure say no sign proper contracts. Okay. Now you judge this 10%, 15%, and this kind of 1.5% royalties are. You try the man on mine, okay. Who say they are just milking from this country away. Now can me expect to say one thing, and now can me expect to say the Ghana Gold Board and come back to my no make sure say is doable. Say and can this big mining firms are almost to gold no and come to gold now. They need to sell it to the Ghana Gold Board. Okay. Say the justice the actual quantum of gold are omutu. Okay. Now the benefit there was a emblem from man we know. Yes, I bet my day. I can na bo bia.
Quanta my assembly to Chief Justice issue the so.
Obaya. Oman we own. You no cray no. That's but I was here yeah Sebi. You didn't create it here, you kata ye nina omo mpe no kure no ye sekire no kachira wo me best Frida minister here sa press conference by imagine say me ko minister na me na kudi kita but Bene kita mudie bi previously
ama me hu se ne usi ye ne neoma enu nti no enya abotre kakra
wanya abotre kakra ba no
yes because minim se ne otie minim se odi abotre dwanta tie nya ne nso enu nti on behalf of the many Ghanaians na omo susu se e wo senka minister fa kwan bi so na ojai sun no ni omo be ya adwen den susu no enya abotre kakra
okay
hwe ade a wontumi aye oban we no enu obi le be ka che aban se aban fa nintu ko se me na me ya enke ye nwe ho
yeah
se innocent na ya nka so we innocent anu nti no most of it no eya na yemma enkofo to some judgments across wabra ensem fata say ebi kura na enka anyoma ni bi wo a yebe kwa agina ene yebua oti ase
yeah
wontumi ye mamboye ni and se wo hwe video no a enye nwanwa de ntia na minister esu because se wo hwe kwaya sabi anyini che wontumi na nakanso a
aseno
na watimi de excavator akowram wontumi sha ase se wo fefe na kwakodi security wo London UK security man what this security na wonhu ne ho ano and oye say no man we kra say we agudie no sha say no ne China fo bi e ba e no be bi a company bi e wo no ni din but na China fo ni sika
na no dey
ye ne friend no handsome mine na omo de sa 2 year China ni na wo bagana na waje $1 million na wa ma kwa mo abebe no wo no akotwa asase ama illegally na was it two ya kakabensem sa na skaba ne nsem no afi was spreading the wings it is a breno na ye Professor Mills aban ba na ye John Mahama ena oye police council head ti what try so the police bear adwuma no na it got to a point na police no got corrupted by wontumi and the associates ena John Mahama be kaya o ma military no ekoye adwuma wabra wa be ye mampani that time na Professor Mills akone crazy na me fa ne crazy menu mienu nyina kai the esi between wontumi ene Owura Mahama
yeah
wabra na all say kwaye that time no na asofo mpanifo nipa asabi omo ka bi ewom wo man we mu no instead say omo betia wontumi no omo say John Mahama na enye edididi mu ma fe be ye say John Mahama empe wontumi asem otano obi a wo say kwaye sensuo sensase metane se me tana gene dien afedi ye say John Mahama kra akosisi wontumi excavators be ye asem organa e ma ye say em say aban fofo akufo ado aban ne bae no okoje ho judgment debt
yeah
sikatwitwi dia e de ma no e che otwe ho ni na empanifo say ena de mefa eja de mefa eno de kro no kese ba so ma me de enkwan kosi fridge mu na wo wia emu namre na sebi uto dra won kwan mu wa bre to dra wo apumu ana se sebi esu mu a say na eba eti me menye surprised at all they want to me aye
okay
because they have treated him with kids gloves o mama na yet say oh Ghana ha oh won sikani a wadi for that
tino so wontumi
tino abre bia no wo ye na ade te say so onya sika nko ade a obetimi dia buy anyway but it's unfortunate say ene no wakwa ko hia obi a onye sikani o amabo a wo odefo obi a woni mboa no na wakọ sebi omo anchi ewo eye elembele
yeah
wakọ busa say wan no me from boa the boa family no ko ne ko busa omo anchi de na woni bie kura mpo no de woni bie kura mpo no ya yesi o we de se oni kapre no
yeah
me penishu ashan na dia yi de woni bie no enti no we no wanya obi a sabi ebi a oje dama etusire ko hia obi a oye defo wontumi no eye sikani wanye sika na boa no ye odefo
dada wono nya politics na mo wanya sika
eye sikani tipeni odefo
yeah
enti no me de papa say we no nya dia okwa ko hia boa say ma corrupt no ho ne dia mama ni tie ye to so bi enti se susuan pa say ye say there was state institutions law enforcement agencies they said the Ghana Police Service, the military, all those security agencies, the BNI or the NIB or the National Security Apparatus. Na ye say ade way na wontumi aye ya say ye sa aseni ye nsuo ni ya kwaye under the guise of mining. Yeah, company na okobie ye no akonta no eye Kufuado oba ne de se maka se minu aba me monidi but Kufuado na ye akonta no na wontumi se akonta to akonta wontumi no sa ba na eye Kufuado ya enu nti no ya bie ho akonta mining no oba no kreska no onya bi ni
onya skani bindi
onya bi di no mo mama na so de ne ono am so eso ono am eti company na ye Kufuado dia akonta mining mi sini pi se akonta mining no eye Kufuado dia wontumi na ye we campaign ono oye hweso ma me na mo no wontumi fa president ekobie company
yeah
enti wo na wo ye makonta enti ko ne ko bie company no na yenye we campaign
mensha wachi
enti wontumi sori a no asesa ofo hanyina na nadia muntu hanyina na nadia muntu na odi omukowura forest no mutu kwaye ni muntu tu munyoma bibi semria no se kwaye obi concession wo twadua wo no mukowura mu no mutu twanua no tugu ye ono de dua wo de ye den
ofa dua na nyewe
edua sabi forest reform ma kwan se twa no watwa otimi twa no watutu ase no aye ho no basa enua wo guagu no enye nua ketwa kwaya wasai no hwe ba bia ye ka ho asemi hwe enyoma wasai na ne esi ye quantify ebesen etimi ne me security apparatus no nyina ho ya
okay
say you don't have to have orders from the president or the minister say obi ko via omaya de na o share the chronology of events okowura kwaye nim Kufuado hu say waye illegality na wo hu say den abai foforo ba obenya punitive ayi bi no and o say okay ye koye mra bi na emra no entre say ubetimi kura mine wo
forest reserve
just because of akonta mining just because of akonta mining boni anu wedia minister kura no at that time no be kan say akonta mining adwuma na wo ye no ese kwaye no ese nsuo no nti no omunya adwuma ye ewa president no waji akonwa no waye press conference say me abuginapo me meyewu sebi obi a wo kwakwahwe akwa me meyewu yie na me de me madwuma wo mese no akonta ma na nya hwe o te so obo wuntumi di o si akonta de
mining
when na ya akonta no wuntumi na ya na akonta
okay
enti no se wo hwe de e ko ni nyina reset, no, it means a lot.
Okay.
What must I say? It means that we should begin from our minds. Now you reset your dream. Now you chart new path. Now you drive your new force. Enkofa tete in someone so opposing to me na adwuma abie na for kromada your friend is saying national security minia razak wada dabi I was say by now ya yire no
okay
takufa don pona muntimi nyire na
ada ne ntimi nyire so 3 years na nso yin
dabi 3 years na nso ye na sabi o de fa de say ono wako abu say yesuma benyansafo
yesuma na mate
eti se me akufo do krampo se me hu nyansampo na me suma bakwasea no onye na so twen
okay
e bedru dra bia investigation be kire se akufo do na suma no na ye nyina ye hu se wuntumi aso twen aba anya sa na se bi obi ko wia tomatoes ana obi ko wia bode ekom ena de no na akokwache na me ntiase se police be kwakwache obi a ko wia bode na obi a ono timi ase kwaya asensuo asensase ono de wafa ne hu adi etimi ana mi nuano no
okay
omo nyire ne pampe senya sa so no omo ntimi nyire no a omo mehwe ye wo boys a obi timi akọ
o metimi ayere o mate
ma di kwanti e wo se na ntimi na mo
okay
na obi ma me lie say yes we aduane akọtena UK the free Ghana he go UK 7 hours
wo bedru sisi ya
7 hours
okay all right
so that's why the UK papers now na say onkra so kra mo ma interpol kwachire
okay
no mra me answer questions
okay
anya sa research no eso ni fa so oh esa na dey be kasa eni me do wo enya kasa o
action
action
okay
you know you be sre omo oh say you down because me no enya ndisi a me nka me yiku e wa kufa do apenso me ya ka me ye but and now say me when it does so say
yeah
John Mahama be ni yie ni nti no ene ye nyina ye nu nsuo twen o pese enya so da fo kwa ye ku o bi da o
civilians is ye ku
ka kufa do ka o be dwane a conscious boxer shot na go bi ehun ni danto ni sema
okay
it you twen just because of John Mahama oba like me and say innocent kind John Mahama is the last legger. Na bemwo we Ghana for betimi anya gidi wo mu say your democracy ni betimi agina.
Betimi agina.
Say Felipe
asemaba.
We will pick the bull by its horn.
Okay.
I'm not saying we meaning that Ghana for nyina.
Okay.
Ghana for nyina including Obi Kurampa sebi wada no we will awake all the way no. Now yetimi aboama sebi ya fire into my pefra because you say there Trari ye wo Burkina no senko fa sa democracy kwan so anke wonya
nko wontimi nye
o fa sa kwan na ye ya dwe say nya kwan pa so no and he's better than even the ECOWAS that we are discussing at 50 no
okay
what must you know looking at that example no we don't want us to think say soldier ban ye
okay
but in any case if soldier ban po yakase enye in the past presently what are their records
okay
all three their records are not bad and until na John Mahama oya no atwe o ma ben no when ECOWAS have at least giving them some form of webia as a yentu
ya to o ma twene no
only they watwe o ma ben no ama say no Ghana for so because they say try that Ghana no only John Mahama contest election John Mahama be lose. That is the style I pay. So even while you are gentle, make sure you crack the whip like you are doing. Say about.
Yeah, about. Yeah, about. Yeah, time na essence. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Input your name cause more manful.
Okay.
And what happening here?
All right. Innocence. Chief Justice and matters arising from minority to suspension and other things.
Yeah, I think Chief Justice has said me I can't.
Yeah.
You see, I take a certain twist. And Rabbi who are brandy and Franca Cranka, also by a demonstration, you said, and you
Nana B.
It's only a friend.
Nana B.
You could see clearly, sir, the issues ewo ho no or more sway the conversation and people are pursuing a certain political agenda. Yeah, my culture say yakoto aba. Na Ghana for concern about our judiciary. That there is the need for us to prune it. Because one institution ain't to mean fairly. A failure in a way will go down. Yes. So the air cost no, it's not something I would make say politically motivated. And the air cost no, beginning nearby and I was John Mahama na sha see na why not just so chief justice and then yamiadom petitioners no be anymore.
Additional to crowd
first petitioner, a police officer,
5.
And yet a police officer no, he's a lawyer or greater crowd way ACP or the same court. And a year 7 year bogun so. And now wajatum not to her. Mammy, my better can't say, Omunipa. They virtually look down on almost everybody. And you know, Nipana what dinner summer we are one for no. Then, according to the gentleman, who can your friend saying Mosara Manipa and who senior lawyer Albert and I wouldn't share that kind of remark. And I'm a minute court and all can move Beatrice. All good police in any mass or court.
Now her titles, they're not there.
And what would that attitude no chim na no have baby as we are also school was wrong. Police no I a lawyer. What dinner some what dinner for. Fine wajiatum. Then off record comments and who as a disparaging comment who good anima say. And then the police officer can say I disagree with you. My man say police boy monchino. And the police officer was detained. Oh yes. That is what happened in the petition. And you know, assembly has nothing to do with the NDC. A personal way or the DOB.
Okay.
Yes.
And then nipa kramba.
Yes.
Say your friend said say no the ayame. Police no why a lawyer. And my cultural that your friend Adibi your friend say sa your friend say a latest arrogance bina menkwa na mako school they look down when you nipa that kind of attitude no. And abra John Mahama conference we are so bold dia on chim na no style we na man for free say no that is that because the gentleman in the petition described it say that was the same thing the posture go and read the petition chim na no ya no we am go share na about that kind of way na say nipa no so or disagree with you immediately na arrest him and the police arrested the police officer and he was detained. That is what happened. So it has nothing to do with so be NDC and so be the other people no and so there has to do with the sika.
Yes.
We the plane ticket. Chief Justice Baba you have for 1 billion the plane ticket to America. Yeah, or my sika. Am 1 billion no. How many young ladies in this country? And even 1,000
cities.
But states need to 1 billion. A man about plane ticket alone or quite a year piano, your friend is saying per diem $10,000. You see the argument and they say, are you entitled to? You see, yes, to quote to me in Nabusia and as a folk, but we are talking about a private travel and the arrangement is that who as a person, and I'm saying we Chief Justice, you know, we will pay, don't worry. But state, you know, you're interested in and if a police in security do what she said, yes, I will be idea kotoa. The state will have to suffer for that.
Sure.
Honor nimyansa security tranche meba bra. So the entitlement of the security officer nobody you know rather comes to the daughter.
How?
Any greed. Police you know you be kuro you be hero odi wachikwa anya hwenko no so no nsabaka sa niam no because there is a reason why the state made it possible say oh kwa the private way no for security do what you say oh you security no tena ncha na order na baba sha no twa plane ticket 1/1 way man no na okotua per diem ya ansi ba ko pe another trip okọ na odi ni kunu
DH security na nine.
Security na nine and ordinary call yeah. Wow, we remember one for member. These are petitioner and otherwise no has to do with Nema Akoso speaker issue no whole lot. Back on crowd there accusations of the man Chief Justice Marco 21. Time in ho can go through ni na 21 accusations and also Sadiguma meneso as oba na obeyi ne ho ano. Now, there member can atwas na ya say we in the politics say Council of State I go through all these accusations and am coming to conclusion say no asem no nyensem hunu yentimi montungu anti Council of State I come asem ebia na manfo nim the composition. One of the immediate past Chief Justice. So for Yakufu, when him Akoto Bam for dissenting those times, you know, she's a retired Supreme Court Justice. Oti bench no so Oti Council of State in Hubi. And a mommy way NDC ni Betty Body Drusu or a former Attorney General. Yes. Oje ahoho sa o ne be no so a obi ani ba bi ofiri ba omu nyina keka ho bi. So when it comes to emra former Chief Justice also former Supreme Court judge. So these are issues I won't mean to say petty keke na. I'm not sure that John Mahama can even pick a phone and call for Yakufu say I don't know any merit, money merit. The president cannot do that. He cannot call Akoto Bamfo and tell her say yes, it means that some more cano credence wom. So a say a political party jita nani and John Mahama bae nipo mo luso mo jima high profile individuals bebre. Why is MPP not speaking for those individuals? Na mum we no mo kasama no. Enra tamale say ya fanzai CEO no that tamale teaching hospital no. See you know di. I don't think that you want your press conference. Yeah. So you see that kind of attitude, you know. I say I don't know omo nkwa na betimi aye obi kwaya wouldn't mean something this I want away because petition I can't answer me. Are you aware, say, Shraj boss? Your first president Mills and appointed no. Are you MPP political? I'm not on pre. On Richard Niama, Omokwa petitioners so Omo MPP for throw petition the command John Mahama say, Ma mena or your Shraj boss no what disika Shraj boss in the status at say justices of the High Court in the forum. Or throw petition the command is a mamina disika. John Mahama J petition no go through setting up committee mo go through. At the end, President Mahama removed the Shrad boss. I remember that. The Shrad boss was appointed under NDC, but Ednam said they're not air cost no equity and intino. President Mahama removed the Shrad boss. The same MPP or no Numuni pass send the petition that command John Mahama will follow through the constitution. And if he's following through the constitution, what is your business? And again, suspension of judges. This is not the first time. Yeah. And now straw petition the command President Mahama says some judges be akwajem ponche na nkoko. Asem no President Akufo-Addo. And some no course na omo ye omo find this omo hu say merit wom no mo nya ni asem no we President Akufo-Addo suspended these 4 judges including Justice Derry. Okay. Yeah. And sana final ruling na ba bonten and sana opama one akọ. So you see, these are powers are clothed. Our president war, and the Akufo-Addo can do the same thing. Why can't John Mahama do the same thing? Because John Mahama. Because John Mahama. You see that kind of way, no, looking down upon people. Say, oh, we didn't mean the way because Mekasa say, we are the people winning answer and can this petition, you know. And go no more kind of Bekasa baby. And come back civil society organization be a cheer. Say, I'm Bekasa amount. Never I see one any credible civil society organization where all can be Chief Justice. What is that India? So yeah, I think that the president must remain focused. Ghana for say your Supreme Court and there is a problem. Individuals are on one their personal dealing or more debo near diomo. Policy no kind of petition in some woman. Yeah, over about nipa no sua de akodo police ACP at the court aye dia asema we nipa nyina ho media on anim ase na okọ react say I disagree with you we say police for nche no na also disagree with you ada we ya hwan ya wo bro mra so ana I mean yes kan so no sa be ma na oye ni sa no ne hu ofe che ni kunu ni nyanse wa be che ni kunu wa school che ni kunu yeah to be a police officer what they go through. Exactly. Law, no? You can't just look down upon that person. And that is the attitude. With the Anamakacha, you see, these people are living in the past. In those 1990, we are Kokotina, me and the generation where I don't know my yeah, but say Pontius Pilate, no, most that they chem kunta and a crab by and then wouldn't say Muna, Nipa can be actually. Sir, my lord, no, I'm for respect you based on what you do, not because you're Chief Justice. Sure. Now, who for not know your president, the crown, now I'm for come out drinking. How many yes, now as a president, the crown, I'm for come out drinking. How much more Chief Justice because I disagree with that? Was that Monchino? Now, Yachina could detain Yachina detain Namako. Sunday, when you know, Yakataka. Yes. After the ruling. Yes. After the ruling. Yes. Don't like doesn't even make sense. Yes. What do you say?
But did you ever think
Ghana
that was going to appoint any very serious brain?
Yes, because
considering his posture,
because as a chief justice, you know. Reasonable. So you have to be very reasonable, very accommodative, that kind of stuff. Obia can some kind of when that kind of way. The bottom line is the judgment has been passed already. Where lies this commenter? And in her response, you know, she couldn't refute that particular. I read the response. The response, she could not refute saying some now branch can and no correct now. Decisions are on Fanum Cotum, and yeah, one judge, your friends a decision. Now I represented the view of your friends all other way.
It's the judges now only in Anna to meet Tinasika with Tibo. I disagree in your funny too. And as I just no crying, I was here some question.
Fanum Concotum, and a 7 branch no cano, and yet enough, and new basis a bit me active. 146, and that is for the offense the committee to decide.
That's the reason why people are saying the response no cramp my assembly more serious. Yes, because I admitted to all the allegations.
What you say about papa na some to any pack. Judge ya ote your offense committee enemy Panama has been at the Supreme Court. Yes, in China any part go and check the records. Panel in baby because they tag him with certain wins until recently as a near society now I am not slotting in the back be about see omukra between the two no and now kwatan with junior and him to us why what your friend is saying oba beka we did not corner not police officer now obi we beggar I'm not and I'm catch us we will be or you we are resign crack the committee you know be comfortable
to have at least to have all that embarrassment and
another one and not nipo ba ko mu di na wu domelibo
yeah
dem go so can we no o kai do mo de ya
court wo ma
Chief Justice omotena case no so ma domelibo call retirement and sana ye di na asem ene wo kwotena ne nemam na tutu asere na abasa so obobra papa near the wedding. So for me, I think that there is no political offense under to be a woman unless Obiwa or the Baba. We are talking about evidence. Because police in the personal experience and other trying to petition. The other group near Shining Star, also no experience or Monya and other person, other Nerofol, or also outline 21 cases against Chief. On the end of the Urema airtime. Jachi question issue no yet me ma order na Bawura court computers bia or order from above and never cause okrom ha o me say nya da agena go through the petition you will be sure and a petition about one thing so one am ye
also respond
because Paul I don't watch na me hu the petition no because Abra President Mahama or cho letter dia command akwa je say on money bi no that letter no got leak petition in Saka and anybody wants Paul I don't watch the edit TV so so fight it's not just response you use political and I'm a fighter but some of these things because I see a different John Mahama very firm, resolute and ready to do the right thing. I'm sure say he should go ahead because that is the reason why Ghanaians voted for him because Ghanaians will not admit failure, they will not admit weakness. The focus on this, this thing goes beyond the Chief Justice. It's not about the Chief Justice. It's about the sanctity of the institution called Judiciary. We cannot be having criminals living, individuals who think that they are all powerful. That sad notion, do not work today because the youth of today, everything you do. That is why I make catchers are soft no preachers, boys no farm for social media. And now I'm for your mamma, what an anchor, I wonder about him. Before they on the call. So we need to do things right.
Okay. All right, Richard. What can you now, Babo?
I say, if you are say, when for baby, a bab and if we bought wood now, that's who to a bonnet and Kawano. To a bonnet, a big Kawano. I tell you now. Yeah, no man for a relate ye Korea by ye and the money now. You share quite a fast one. Yeah, sure. Because a be a job and as soon as I saw no and begin soon, or Chinabi barbecue soup.
Yeah,
Mammy took me, oh, share Yama Waya. Yeah, quack or twaba. Now, Jane Manson
what they Mrabi pass the whole Ghana. Yeah, no centralized. Yeah, only in district office. Baby, one man, it will take you about 4-5 hours to travel from your community and go to the district head office and then go and register.
Yes.
When you go, identify the district EC officer is a problem.
Yes.
I say we are the choir. Omo say omo giving any attention kra.
Of a case ni atworo na wie. That's a deliberate.
Until to one say oh common sense about say man we problem wo ho. Hwe man we na ebusa na say madam ni time aye interview no na oba chief justice. Ana ebusa na say see ye wo Ghana ha say o birth certificate ye dey na ye ba announce say oh ye wo rich hospital. Ye fill form no sa form no so no. You ever say, "Oh, mommy, a friend is saying, oh, a friend is saying, oh, mommy, a gun and I was saying, I, oh, papa, a gun and I, blow ya crown, oh, mammy, the Bama response, no, who call rich hospital, Obano, new information, you baby sound, no, actually, a woo your gun and me, now, oh, papa, so your busan is a grandpapa, no, a gun and now on your gun and me, no, so you are true form, no, so, and the Ufa Obia birth certificate. Ni lineage, ni baby of free, ni mammy, papa, ni nationality, no, it is stated there. Emphatically. And the offer form not to say Simmons were Ghana and now on your Ghana. Now you bust some with some question say, Madam Tokuno say, Obi a Ghana and the birth certificate, the bachelor so a Ghana and I said, again, the bachelor say, Pacono a Ghana. Was say, and we a primary documenter, a better qualified say, Ubetima Bay Ghana. Now, birth certificate in Chester or Ghana. Saddam met Simakuma to come to me up, Bommy Cow Pie TV, no, TV, no. Mr. What? And some nipa say, and you don't know the whole Supreme Court of this country say, "Oh, going to be a constitution." Now I am planning a month for some Mayana. Then we are sitting on a time bond. Mamma Nyama or ye brother Chief Justice and all. And the money be on Malka say, "Oh, counting is solid free." I say,
yeah.
Ya or transfer at times exercising her power. Who do me say? Oponi, former Cocoa Board CEO. Ni case, bra na ni pakwa na oti case ni so. Papa we my friend is saying. Januvo say, you can't say.
Yanuga. Yeah, Yanuga.
Oh, Yanuga. Ni na dem we do.
Yeah.
Ti me bo ya dia. Ni yo. Bra papa no e be no expire say no bo obe free power say obe handle case obi foforo per say the man no hye NCT no judge foforo be take over the case no pa and chief justice we or transfer sa judge no e call Kumasi what you say a clear direction say or per se on for before from kwere dem na kwa sure na omu wanya oponi enti madam Tokuno de me no me dwe no wa times nyama wo ye Ghana say bra President Akufo-Addo Ghana had the whole parliament house e pass mra he say LGBTQ plus sensem ya shamra say President Shena sign na sam la we mra na obi a odi sam nyamaboni bia no emra no ni no ena adian emacho ye President kwan sign ye ema no be ye mra enti no anka obi amponi hu kwan se otimi sa atem we kokose kwaje injunction every bad sa you know ena ye dey asam court Chief Justice one fracas na for so many months yet to abawie ye December mu who say power assassin and son na omu fracas no
dismiss say
dismiss case say which the last car mu no come from the case no nyansa ni mutiri za case na mo de ban no ya boat ogu enti obi abe madam we dey ase President Akufo-Addo chechire and wo ka che ne say case we dey mama frɛ nenso anka Uye Supreme Court Chief Justice in it and can say one who said the common sense in it say case a case of national interest. So let me call this case Some case in court, and Avenue Marking, Eddie Supreme Speaker of Parliament, Echo Supreme Court. Any 3 days.
Was it 3 days?
24 hours.
Any 24 hours. So I no post say. About 2 or 10 12 no I panel
obi otimi fa pen ni paper chro amanfo din say president appoint you on to Supreme Court dey what be that.
It's wait me say
I'm na wi aye
no oye sadia no me say mama wey na dwemu bibi wom bibi boni bi na o hwe papa o no na se wote ho a o hwe nanim nko an ni posture the eye the movement of the head and the way ultimately who say mama no pride I can say pride a hand
pride
ankasa ewonimu
no don't use the word pride when it's rather arrogance
so tinina bom nti ewonimu sa si baby a ote no want me for sa suban no na me dey me o mni so wo yo ba dey bia I can say mama kwai nanso emma o me mambofo no de e wo se yan twi o mu tonto even feel ba bi o mte na me ade we ekoso manage because subversing the wills of the people always create chaos.
Okay.
And mama no de I think omo transe the current national advisors to the president no some of who nyina no they are not biased.
Okay.
Now who said there's reason in it say mamu e best no impo me no come expect say a direct dismissal from office
go through
to go to her so okay. No waste time and waste resource about this woman.
Bradley so your time na wi aye
asempeti to konu senka obuni hu a o senka omune ho na se o se subani bia eya ye hwehwe baby omunipa.
Yes, that is the word.
That's the word.
Na omune ho on feria de nani money get senko yo bia wo buni ho no feria de bunipa ko be hu se the to me bi anase dibia bi ma wo a eti se de de ade afem wo eti se wa sit down na fra what man se be hwe so ma no Ghana wo yen Ghana fo yenti ene e fredi bi tokonu ene senye ya ni so ni mfaso so ni kunu edana ni kunu nya ade o se ni kunu ya ade o enfo obi ho ekwan ofa so ni kunu nyem ye enfo obi ho ekwan osori anope wadidi se wanidi ye me enfa me ho yenti ene me botokonu din ye bi ye di o man sika me tua to ni ye de hwe sa oba we me twi me hunu mu ni no ne we ni edi tua de ka eye me ya se we ye me chief justice ana wa be me chief justice pen eye me ya
to nyanko wi
na dia sa ye me ye bio ni se wa ma ne ho kwan ama amayokuo fota MPP amayokuo fo tantan MPP we ayusu no so one fan side on my way democracy. Oh, there has always been a very primitive mentality about encophobia wo wiase say ye mame to me say me chief justice me na me ye miara ne miara. There is nobody wo ye onoara ne onoara. Not even the president of Ghana is onoara ne onoara. Nobody. Because the power resides always with the people of this country. It is a who the echo the narratives, the narrations around Mami Tokonono, it boils down to only one subject matter.
Okay.
The NPP before their exit had planned, said they will make nonsense of all law or legal arguments. Yeah, NDC are led by John Mahama Edeba. And you know, their plan was to make sure say Ekufodo Pake Kotono with MPP for party apparatchiks. Senior Beya, Uma Samso saw the quarter because Ekufodo has already created a criminal syndicate. Edia Viayeno, some criminal syndicates no or more benefited from and your bonia akoso a Kufuado abemu and unti wo a Kufuado. Since a quarter no na ye kofie kura sika ye wia no ye kwa court no be bon sem na gu because ye no mu nyina na be di case e be di sika no ensase ye no mu na wia sika ye no mu na e be die dada enunti no fotokonu onu na sabio ye di assembly ba court or be empanel judges panu patna ho na fani pa mako 11 ko ka ne ho e Supreme Court ho eyire so paya Supreme Court ne di assembly baba enunti no pake court no na Kufuado pake court no etutimi usa akwa bi ye friend ya wo gawo se gawo gatete o se gawo deyo boye parliamentary candidate te say Listowel akodi na o se mo nto aba mame on a ticket of MPP God forbid anyway na me makodi na wi ene ye say Listowel say no why a parliamentary candidate so na court na Supreme Court
all right
obi enim so mo nyina ya MPP for etime no John Mahama can reset no. The first place after that party.
Na court no.
A court.
Okay.
Because John Assistant Chief Justice. Me am one some person because they are political. Why must it not be political? This is to salvage the situation all the time. Okay. Politics. A bomb here the peri your eba. Unless you want to tell me say politics not the papa. Why would you have to be political? And what say NDC did say yes, you pursue a pumpkin justice because why a lawless lawyer.
Thank you.
Lawless.
All right.
So we want to make offer. Your friend is saying,
yeah.
I mean, unim. When the Babylon is falling, let us be happy and be glad.
Okay.
Because Jericho face on a bubu. To Mahama shall say free throw. Na bodu nya twani ti ade aka nyina ya homa
me da se
etie ti twani nyina tuntumu
me edi me kwa ni
mu afu because o mahu say o mo plan no e to ati sika na o ma wia no ye ba be je
me da
reset they thought he was joking.
Okay.
He means business and we have reset it and put him ade we abrewa we say go nwu a e ke fa sanka no me da se we e ke hwemu o we o ko